The Karnataka government's decision to invite Booker Prize winning author and activist Banu Mushtaq to inaugurate the Dasara celebrations at Mysuru has sparked a row. BJP leader Pratap Simha has questioned why a Muslim should be invited to a Hindu religious event. The author has refused to comment on the BJP leader's remark, but she said that she has been invited and that she would go. 77-year-old Banu Mushtaq won the prestigious Booker Prize this year for her short story anthology. The 12 short stories were written over 3 decades. They capture the daily lives of Muslim women in southern India and deal with patriarchy and gender inequality. Former BJP MP Pratap Simha said that he respects Mushtaq's achievements but opposed the state government's decision to get her to inaugurate the Dasara festivities in Mysuru. The BJP has questioned the choice of Banu Mushtaq for the Dasara celebrations, alleging that inviting someone with no faith in Hindu dharma is an attempt to hurt Hindu sentiments. Hitting back, Karnataka's Home Minister G. Parameshwara said that Dasara is a state festival that belongs to all and should not be confined to any single caste or religion. Now we have my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah joining us live from Bengaluru with the latest. Waji, talk to us. BJP leader Pratap Simha questioning why should Banu Mushtaq be invited to, to kick off the Dasara festivities in Mysuru, and Karnataka's Home Minister, G. Parameshwara himself, hitting back and saying this is not just a Hindu festival, it's a state festival.
Well, yes, Pisha, the invitation to Banu Mushtaq for the Dasara celebrations has now become a political standoff between both the BJP and the Congress. BJP leader Pratap Simha was the first one to raise the objection, saying, because he also belongs to the Mysore region, and he went on to point out how Banu Mushtaq, who has no relationship with Chamundeshwari, who has no relationship with the entire festival. She has been she has been invited as the chief guest. So it doesn't make sense to have her as the chief guest. And he also points out how he's not against her religion or her status, but she's not somebody who agrees with the ideology. Therefore, instead of calling her, they should have called somebody else with what he had raised the objection. That is where the Congress leaders raised their objection to his statement, saying that your sole intention of not allowing her was the fact that she's a Muslim writer, and that was one of the reasons. And they also pointed out how in the past, when the Wadaya dynasty, under whose leadership or under whose kingship the entire Dasara festival is celebrated in Karnataka, when they lost power and Tipu and Hyder Ali were in power, they were the ones who were running the Dasara festival. Under the Diwan system, it was Mirza Ismail, Diwan of Mysore, who was running the entire festivals of Dasara in Mysuru. Therefore, Muslims have held prominent positions in conducting the entire cultural event. Therefore, the appointment of Banu Mushtaq, the invitation to her, should not be taken in bad light. They also pointed out just a few years back, Nasir Ahmed, another prominent Kannada writer belonging to the Muslim faith, was also invited. At that time, there was no hue and cry. Why such a hue and cry now? And it has now been backed by other BJP leaders. You have Shobha Karandlaje, who have come out and said that the person, Banu Mushtaq, we are not questioning her credential, but she is somebody who does not believe in the idea of idol worship. Will she bend down and prostrate in front of Chamundeshwari? She will not. Then why invite somebody who will not? So I also personally had a chat with Banu Mushtaq, tried to get a reaction from her, but she clearly maintained that as of now, she will not answer anything. She will come back. She's on a trip to London, and she will respond to all these doubts that have been raised by the BJP, whether she will attend or not. After the hue and cry that we are seeing that has been created with her invitation, we'll have to wait and watch for that, Krishna.
We'll have to wait and watch for that. But Vaji, you're talking about a woman who has won a Booker Prize in Kannada language. Her short story collection was in the Kannada language. The first time ever that a Kannada language text was, won the Booker Prize. She's part of the cultural fabric, in that sense of Karnataka. And more importantly, we are at this stage, we're yet to hear anything from the Chief Minister or the Deputy Chief Minister.
Absolutely. The Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister have not responded to any of these allegations that have been leveled by the BJP. But Parmeshwar, who is the Home Minister, has responded saying that yes, Banu Mushtaq has contributed to the cultural upliftment of Kannada, especially. And she's not been doing this from yesterday, but she's been doing it from a very long time. And her prominency as an invitee to the festival gained prominence because she's brought the Kannada language to its peak to an international level under her by writing her book. And that is why this should not be looked into a political stream or in a religious stream, but should be taken it as a part of the cultural effort that Karnataka puts forward. Now, we'll have to wait and watch how the CM responds, but from what we've seen, the Chief Minister's reaction on all such issues, he has been hell-bent and he continues to go ahead with whatever decision he's taken. Now, it remains that Banu Mushtaq will bow down to the pressure of the BJP, which is also highly unlikely, seeing her stature also. But yes, this has become a political face-off between the two of them. Now, the reasons for why her name has been objected by the BJP as various one of the leaders pointed out whether she does not believe in idol worship. But at the end of it, it all comes down to the fact that she's also a person from a different religion. Her old videos where she had commented with regards to idols also has come about, saying that the entire language has been named after the goddess. The Kannada language has been named after the goddess, and this leaves no place for minorities because they do not relate with the idea of idol worship. They do not relate with the idea of kumkuma, and they do not worship the idol like this. Therefore, the language should be all left alone. So that comment of hers in the past has also been raised up by the BJP leaders, and a huge political rout has been created whether an invitation is right or wrong. So this political slugfest will go on till we hear either of the parties, be it the Chief Minister, DCM, clarifying on it, or Banu Mushtaq herself coming out and speaking against it. For now, it is clear that the BJP and the leaders of the BJP have opposed her invitation to the Mysore Dasara.
Mohammad Wajula, they're getting us the latest on that story from Bengaluru. Thank you, Vaji, for bringing us that update. Moving on to some breaking news that's coming in. A sharp political confrontation breaking out over the Constitution Amendment Bill. Former Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal mounting a blistering attack on Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Taking to social media, Kejriwal questioned the BJP's stance on criminalization in politics. He asked if leaders who include criminals in their parties get their cases dismissed and elevate them to positions of power should also face prison terms, and if so, how many years? Mr. Kejriwal went further, taking direct aim at the Union Home Minister. He asked what punishment should be given to those who falsely implicate political rivals, sending them to jail only for courts to acquit them later. The Aam Aadmi Party leader also invoked his own jail term, calling it a political conspiracy. He reminded people that during the 160 days that he ran the Delhi government from jail, essential services like electricity, water, medicines and mohalla clinics continued without disruption. And in a scathing comparison, Kejriwal said in the last 7 months of BJP's rule in the capital, people are actually missing the jail government he led. Arvind Kejriwal opening up a blistering attack on Union Home Minister Amit Shah, taking to social media, questioning the BJP's stance on criminalization in politics. He's asking what happens to those leaders who are criminals. Parties take them, get their cases dismissed, and then elevate them to positions of power. Should they also face prison term? And if so, how many years? Union Home Minister Amit Shah today robustly defended the recently passed 130th Constitutional Amendment Bill and also addressed speculations surrounding former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Shah accused the opposition of trying to manipulate the political system to run governments from behind bars suggesting they want to turn prisons into power centers with officials taking orders from jail.
एक 130वां संशोधन क्या है? 130वें संशोधन में ये संविधान संशोधन है। इसमें हमने एक प्रावधान किया है कि प्रधानमंत्री, मुख्यमंत्री, भारत सरकार के मंत्री या राज्य सरकार के मंत्री किसी भी गंभीर आरोप में अगर अरेस्ट होते हैं और 30 दिन तक उनको जमानत नहीं मिलती है तो मुख्यमंत्री या प्रधानमंत्री मंत्री के केस में उनको उनके स्थान से मुक्त करेंगे। अगर वो नहीं करते हैं तो अपने आप कानूनन वो मुक्त हो जाएंगे। ये प्रावधान 130वें संवैधानिक संशोधन में हमने किया है। सबसे पहले मैं स्पष्ट कर देता हूं, संसद के अंदर चुनी हुई सरकार कोई भी विधेयक लाए या संवैधानिक संशोधन लाए, इसको सदन के सामने रखने में क्या विरोध हो सकता है? जबकि मैंने स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि इसको हम दोनों सदनों की संयुक्त समिति को सौंपेंगे। वहां आप आपके विचार व्यक्त कर सकते हैं। और दूसरा, जब इस पर मतदान हो तब आप आपका मत व्यक्त कर सकते हो, क्योंकि ये संवैधानिक संशोधन है तो 2/3 बहुमत चाहिए दोनों सदनों में। परंतु उस वक्त आप अपना विचार भी रख सकते हो और वोट भी कर सकते हो। किसी भी सरकार के विधेयक को या संविधान संशोधन को सदन में पेश न होने देना और इस तरह का व्यवहार करना, ये क्या लोकतंत्र में उचित है? क्या देश की पार्लियामेंट के दोनों सदन बहस के लिए है या शोरगुल और हल्ले के लिए?
Now, Union Home Minister Amit Shah further clarified that the bill offers fairness, allowing any leader who secures bail even after 30 days to take oath and return to office.
सबसे पहले एफआईआर होती है और सीबीआई है तो पीई होती है, प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी होती है। एफआईआर होती है, एफआईआर पर आप स्टे ले सकते हो। हाँ। उसके बाद में आपकी पूछताछ होती है, इस पर भी स्टे ले सकते हो। इसके बाद में आपका समन निकलता है, उसके बारे में भी आप स्टे ले सकते हो। और अरेस्ट पर भी स्टे लेते हो। और अरेस्ट होती है तो फिर जमानत के लिए अप्लाई भी कर सकते हो। ये 5 स्टेज आते हैं, रातों रात कुछ नहीं होता। मगर करप्शन में अगर आकंठ आप डूबे हुए हैं तो फिर तो अरेस्ट भी होगी, जेल में भी जाना पड़ेगा, इस्तीफा भी देना पड़ेगा। फिर भी अगर बाद में जमानत होती है तो आप फिर से शपथ ले लो भाई।
On former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's sudden resignation, Amit Shah said that the former Vice President had performed his constitutional duties well and stepped down only due to personal health reasons.
मुझे लगता है एएनआई ने रिसर्च विंग बंद कर दिया है। धनखड़ साहब का इस्तीफे का पत्र स्वयं स्पष्ट है। इन्होंने अपने आरोग्य का हवाला देते हुए इस्तीफा दिया है, स्वास्थ्य का हवाला देते हुए, और उन्होंने सरकार के मंत्री, प्रधानमंत्री और सभी सदस्यों का हृदय से उनके अच्छे कार्यकाल के लिए धन्यवाद किया है। इसमें बात का बतंकर नहीं बनाना चाहिए। धनखड़ जी संवैधानिक पद पर बैठे, अपने कार्यकाल में उन्होंने संविधान के हिसाब से अच्छा काम किया जी। इनकी निजी स्वास्थ्य की समस्या के कारण इन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया है। हाँ। इसको ज्यादा खींचकर कुछ ढूंढने का प्रयास नहीं करना चाहिए। देखिए, देश में बहुत सारी पॉजिटिव स्टोरीज हैं। हमेशा इस तरह की स्टोरी के पीछे नहीं लगना।
Taking a jab at Rahul Gandhi, Amit Shah recalled the ordinance brought by former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to save Lalu Yadav and questioned the opposition's moral stance, pointing to their recent electoral defeats. Shah also commented on the India Bloc's vice presidential candidate Sudarshan Reddy, noting his leftist ideology as a key reason for his nomination.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का रिकॉर्ड है सलवा जुडम को इन्होंने खारिज कर दिया। आदिवासियों का आत्मरक्षा का जो अधिकार था उसको उन्होंने समाप्त कर दिया। इसके कारण इस देश में नक्सलवाद 2 दशक ज़्यादा चला है। उस वक्त नक्सलवाद अंतिम सांसें गिन रहा था, क्योंकि जो आदिवासी थे, जो बच्चों को पढ़ाना चाहते थे, जिनके यहाँ रोड नहीं पहुंचता था, इससे परेशान थे, जिनके यहाँ स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं नहीं थी, वो परेशान थे। उन्होंने खुद की रक्षा के लिए सलवा जुडम बनाया था। इसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने खारिज कर दिया। ये तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का रिकॉर्ड है, इनका जजमेंट है। तो और इसके बाद जो स्कूल तबाह हो गए थे नक्सलियों के कारण, वो स्कूलों में सीआरपीएफ और सुरक्षा बल बैठे थे। रातों रात एक ऑर्डर करके सबको बाहर कर दिया। कई जगह हमले हुए सुरक्षा बलों पर। ये दोनों जजमेंट, इसका जवाब श्री सुदर्शन रेड्डी से ज्यादा राहुल गांधी ने देना चाहिए
कि उन्होंने क्यों पिक किया।
जी, मैं तो मानता हूं यही क्राइटेरिया रहा होगा
नक्सल को सपोर्ट करने के लिए।
नहीं, वामपंथी विचारधारा। और ये जजमेंट से निश्चित रूप से नक्सल प्रोटेक्ट हुए।
Amit Shah also challenged the opposition's criticism of his association with the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh or RSS, highlighting the organization's legacy of producing leaders like Atal Bihari Vajpayee and LK Advani.
अरे लोग प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वयं का आरएसएस के साथ कनेक्शन,
धनखड़ जी का नहीं
अरे
था।
सुनिए ना, मेरा भी है। तो हम लोगों का चयन देश ने इसलिए किया है कि हम आरएसएस से। आरएसएस के साथ कनेक्शन होना कोई माइनस पॉइंट है क्या? आप
बताइए।
जरा भी नहीं। अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी भी आरएसएस से कनेक्टेड थे, श्री अडवाणी जी भी आरएसएस से कनेक्टेड थे, मोदी जी भी है, मैं भी हूं, राधाकृष्णन जी भी है।
Moving on, the Delhi police has arrested another individual accused in the case related to the attack incident on Chief Minister Rekha Gupta during the Jan Sunwai event hosted last week. Tehseen Syed, the accused who has been arrested in relation to the incident, is a friend of the prime accused individual, Kimji. Tehseen Syed was brought to Delhi from Rajkot in Gujarat on Friday for further questioning. The police also made him confront Kimji to verify the facts of the case. Syed was taken into Delhi's police custody on Sunday. As per the agency report, Sakriya Rajesh Bhai Kimji had allegedly sent a video of Chief Minister Rekha Gupta's house to Tehseen Syed, and Syed also sent him 2,000 rupees while being in constant contact with him before the alleged attack on the Chief Minister. Senior Congress leader and Madhugiri MLA K.N. Rajanna took an indirect jibe at Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar for recently singing the RSS anthem in the assembly. Taking on D.K. Shivakumar without naming him, the former minister said in Tumkuru in Karnataka that he can recite the RSS prayer. He can share a stage with BJP leader Amit Shah. He can do anything, but we are refrained from speaking, calling meetings or holding conventions. Rajanna, who was holding the cooperation portfolio, was sacked from the Siddaramaiah cabinet on the inaugural day of the monsoon session over his remarks blaming the ruling Congress party for alleged vote theft.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸದಾ ವತ್ಸಲ.
ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದ್ರಿ. ಅವ್ರ RSS ಗೀತೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಆಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಎಂತದು ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಇವರು ಡಯಾಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಪಿಸಿಸಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರಯಾಗ್ರಾಜ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬಡವನ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ಅಂಬಾನಿ ಮನೆ ಮದುವೆನ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಂದೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತ ಮದುವೆಗೆ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಸಮೇತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇರೋಂಥವು. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜನ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌದು, ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. MLAಗಳದ್ದು ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳದ್ದು ನಾವು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೇರೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕರಿಬಹುದು, ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದು, ಮಟ್ಬಹುದು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ಲಿ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಉತ್ತರ ನೀಡಲಾಗುವುದು.
Now, the central government has set up a high-level committee to mark the birth centenary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The panel features top union ministers, chief ministers, governors and senior leaders with Prime Minister Narendra Modi among its members. In all, 128 personalities have been included in the committee, notably veterans L.K. Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi. Interestingly, the panel also features opposition chief ministers including Mamata Banerjee, Siddaramaiah and Bhagwant Mann. In some news coming in from Mangaluru in Karnataka, police have intensified their probe into YouTuber MD Sameer's finances, focusing on income generated from his channel, Doota. To those unversed, Dharmasthala police had registered a case against him for spreading false information through an AI-generated video related to the ongoing Dharmasthala mass burial case. Investigators are gathering crucial financial evidence including YouTube AdSense income records and bank statements to determine if the content was created purely for financial gain. Officials want to know if Sameer posted false or misleading videos to increase earnings, especially following a controversial upload in July this year. The probe also seeks clarity on third-party sponsorships, paid promotions, and whether the channel received any political or organizational funding. Authorities are verifying who owns the AdSense account, whether Sameer operates the channel alone, and how much income the channel generates on a monthly basis. The Supreme Court today heard a plea against several stand-up comedians accused of mocking persons with disabilities. The petition by SMA Cure Foundation names Samay Raina, Vipul Goyal, Balraj Singh Ghai, Sonali Thakkar and Nishant Tanwar. The court noted that while the comedians have apologized, the issue goes beyond a single incident. Justice Suryakant observed that guidelines should be broad-based, keeping future challenges in mind, and sought inputs from domain experts. Attorney General R. Venkatramani told the bench that while guidelines will take some time, there cannot be a complete gag on speech. The court stressed on balancing free speech with dignity and questioned whether victims should be forced to approach courts every time. Justice J.B. Pardiwala underlined that humor cannot come at the cost of mocking communities, especially when it is commercialized by influencers. The bench hinted at possible penalties, saying that next time it may impose fines for such conduct with proceeds directed towards disabled groups. The matter is listed along with cases of digital influencers Ranveer Allahabadia and Ashish Chanchlani, who have also sought relief in related FIRs. Global ratings agency Fitch Ratings has affirmed India's sovereign credit rating at BBB- with a stable outlook. Citing the country's robust economic growth, Fitch Ratings affirmed India's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating at BBB-, noting that the rating is underpinned by the country's robust growth prospects and solid external finances. The agency said that India's economic outlook remains strong relative to peers, even though momentum has moderated over the past 2 years. It forecast GDP growth of 6.5% in the current financial year, unchanged from the previous year and significantly above the median growth of 2.5%. The ratings agency said that growth will continue to be driven by strong public capital expenditure and steady private consumption, although private investment is likely to remain moderate due to risks from potential US tariff hikes. Keeping it with economics, the Reserve Bank of India's Governor Sanjay Malhotra said that the country's exchange reserves are strong enough to cover 11 months of merchandise exports, giving the economy a buffer against global shocks. While speaking at the annual banking conference, FIBAC 2025 in Mumbai, Sanjay Malhotra described the global environment as uncertain, citing trade disruptions and geopolitical tensions.
India's external sector, again, I need not, speak more about it. It has been very comfortable. The current account deficit over the last few years has been well within the sustainable limits. Last year, it was only 0.6% of GDP. And of course, this is because of strong exports in services and very healthy inward remittances, for which India today actually has the record of being highest recipient. We have very robust foreign exchange reserves, $695 billion US dollars, as per the latest figures that are available with us, sufficient to cover 11 months of merchandise exports. This has been all possible because of the very strong and prudent fiscal and monetary policies followed by the government and the various regulators over the last few years.
Now, Malhotra's comments come as US tariffs on Indian exports are set to take effect on Wednesday, the 27th of August. The Trump administration has announced an additional 25% duty, doubling the overall levy to 50%, linking the move to India's continued imports of Russian crude oil.